بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولو قال لها اختاري اختاري اختاري، وقالت اخترت الأولى والوسطى والأخيرة، طلقت ثلاثا في قول أبي حنيفة رحمه الله تعالى. Oh, you got a will? Yeah, a will. Yeah, it is. واخترت الأولى أو الوسطى أو الأخيرة، طلقت ثلاثا في قول أبي حنيفة رحمة الله عليه، ولا يحتاج إلى نية الزوج، وقال تطلق واحدة. Right. If a man says to his wife, choose, choose, choose. So she says, I have chosen the first one, or the middle one, or the last one. Then she'll be divorced thrice in the statement of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayh, and there is no need for the niyat of the husband. Right? And Sahibin says she will be divorced once. Right. So firstly, we need to see now why is there no niyat here? Because remember we said iftari, you need either nafs in one of the two. You understand it? Right. So indeed there is no need for the niyat of the husband. لدلالة التكرار عليه, due to the إنما لا يحتاج إلى نية الزوج لدلالة التكرار عليه. So firstly, we remember we said if you say ikhtari, right? And then the husband needs to word it ikhtari or ikhtari nafsaki. Even if you say ikhtari nafsaki, he's got nafs there, right? He needs to still make the intention of talaq, right? So here we say there is no need for the niyat of the husband due to the indication of the repetition upon talaq. By him saying ikhtari, 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 that shows his intention is talaq. So we don't still need to ask him for his niyat. إذا الاختيار في حق الطلاق هو الذي يتكرر, because the choice in the right of talaq, that is the one that is repeated. You understand? By saying ikhtari, 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 it shows that he is only intending talaq, because there's nothing else that you use ikhtari, ikhtari. When you repeat the ikhtari is like that, right? لهما أن ذكر الأولى وما يجري مجراه إن كان لا يفيد من حيث الترتيب ولكن يفيد من حيث الأفراد فيعتبر فيما يفيد. Right. Now Sahibin's dalil to say why only one talaq here, right? So they say this, the mentioning of ula, right, and that which runs similar to ula. In other words, ula, wusta, akhira. These three words here, right? If it doesn't give the benefit from the aspect of tartib, right, sequence, however, it gives the benefit from the aspect of being individual. What do they so فَيُعْتَبَرُ فِيمَا يُفِيدُ. So it will be considered in that which it gives the benefit of. What they saying here now, if you look at this word here, first, middle, and last, right? These three words here, they say here, see, you how many talaqs you got? You got three talaqs. There is no first talaq, second talaq, and third talaq. The talaqs are all together in a room. It's like the talaqs are all together in a room, right? So if you, for example, you got few people in the room. The man's got three talaqs in his hand, right? It's just like you got few people in the room, right? We can't say you first, you second, you third. You all together in the room. So in the same way, the talaqs don't have a first, second, and third, in the sense that when you're giving it now, then you're choosing, I'm giving the first one, then I'm going to give the second. You understand it? Because they're all together, right? So he says here, since it doesn't have that, you can't use a tartib there, right? This word first, middle, and last, it can't give you, there's no first, middle, and last talaq, right? There isn't something like those, they're all together. So there's no tartib there between these three here that you can say this one is first, this one is second, and that one is third. You understand it? So they're all together there. So it doesn't give you that that sequence. It doesn't inform you about sequence. These words here, it can't be applied to talaq and means sequence, right? But what it can apply to is that these are all individual talaqs. You understand? So since it's referring to individual talaqs, we can say now, uh, so what we can say, that she's choosing the individual. You understand it? So by choosing one individual, you understand it? Therefore, it will only be one talaq. She is choosing. فَيُعْتَبَرُ فِيمَا يُفِيدُ. So it will be considered in that which is, gives the benefit to it. And what benefit it gives the benefit? That the first one is one on its own. The second one is one on its own. And the third one is one on its own. Although there's no first, second, third. Remember that. Right. وَلَوْ أَنَّ هَذَا وَصْفٌ لَهُ. Imam Sahib say this is a description which is null. Which is null, right? لأن المجتمع في الملك لا ترتيب فيه. Because that which is gathered in the ownership, there is no sequence in it. You understand it? If you got something that gathered in your ownership, you don't have any sequence in it. كالمجتمع في المكان. Just like that which is gathered in one place. There is no sequence. Everything that's in your possession. See, مجتمع في الملك. If you got 100 rand in your possession here, you can't say this rand is first and that rand is second. They're all together. You understand it? Right. Well, kalamu litartibi, and the speech here is for sequence. Because she's saying what she's saying. I've chosen the first or the middle or the last. So she's giving sequence. She's responding with a sequence, right? Well, ifrad min zaruratihi, and the individuals, in other words, when you do sequence, right? When you do a sequence, they say first, second, third, right? That's sequence, right? And the the offshoot of that sequence is that first is one on its own, second is one on its own, third is one on its own. You understand it? So the ifrad is from the necessities of the speech, right? You can say, yeah, ifrad is from the necessities of that speech. That speech which showed sequence, ifrad is the necessity of that, is the offshoot of that. You understand it? Right. فإذا لغى في حق الأصل لغى في حق البناء. So when the speech becomes lag in the right of the asl, it becomes lag in the right of the fara. It becomes lag in the right of the fara. In other words, what he's saying here now, Imam Bani Rahman is saying that she when you go choose a singular ifrad, she chose ifrad, right? She said, I chose what she said, I call ikhtartul ul, I chose the first or the middle or the last one, right? So she chose ifrad, and the kalam that she used was for tartib, right? So since tartib is not going to work here, ifrad is also going to work, not going to work. Ifrad is also not going to work, right? So since both are not working here, it's as though she just said ikhtart. You understand it? So it's as though what she said, ikhtartu. You understand it? And when you just say ikhtartu, then your ikhtartu is coming in response to choose, choose, choose. 3 times choose, and if I've chosen, that means it's 3 talaqs. You got that now? And so that it's a bit difficult, but what he's saying here, the main thing Imam Sahib is saying, since tartib is not going to work, and ifrad is the offshoot of tartib, right? So since tartib is not going to work here, the ifrad also won't work. So you just left with the word ikhtartu. And if you just, if a woman says in response to ikhtari, she says ikhtartu, it will be 3 talaqs. Right. ولو قد اخترت اختيارة فهي ثلاث في قولهم جميعا. And if she says I've chose a choosing, right, then it will be 3 in all of their statement. They all say now it will be 3. لأنها للمرة, because it is for I've chosen one time. You understand? In other words, when you say اخترت اختيارا, is as though you're saying اختر فصارت كما إذا استرحت بها. So it will become just as when she mentioned مرة clearly. So he says, though she says, ikhtartu marratan. And when you say ikhtartu marratan in response to ikhtari, then it becomes 3 talaqs. You understand it? لأن الاختيارة للتأكيد, because اختيارة, that's what اخترت اختيارة, right, is for emphasis. وبدون التأكيد يقع الثلاث, فمع التأكيد أولى. And without the تأكيد, without that emphasis, 3 would have occurred. So with the emphasis, to a greater extent, 3 would occur. You understand it? What I mean is, she just said to say اخترت, 3 would have occurred. But now by saying اخترت اختيارة, then definitely 3 will occur. ولو قالت قد طلقت نفسي أو اخترت نفسي بتطليقة فهي واحدة يملك الرجعة. Right. Now if he says, if she says, right, in response to the word now, not ikhtari, there was ikhtari, right? Right? Then she says, I've divorced myself, or I have chosen myself for one, right? Then it is one in which he will own rajat. لأن هذا اللفظ يوجب انطلاق يوجب what you got it? يوجب انطلاق بعد انقضاء العدة, right? Because this word here necessitates the talaq after the elapsing of the iddat. You understand? The freedom after the elapsing of the iddat. فكأنها اختارت نفسها بعد العدة. So as though she chose herself after the iddat. So in response to ikhtari, what she used raj'i words. You understand it? طلقت نفسي أو اخترت نفسي بتطليقة. So then will be one in which he will own rajat. Because this, her choice is, she's also choosing here. But what is she choosing? She's choosing a separation after iddat, right? وإن قال لا أملك بيدك في تطليقة أو اختاري تطليقة فاختارت نفسها فهي واحدة يملك الرجعة. And if you said your matter is in your hands in one talaq, or choose a talaq, then she chose herself, then it is one in which she will own rajat. لأنه جعل لها الاختيار لكن بتطليقة, because he made for her a choice, however, with a clear talaq. وهي معقبة للرجعة, and it makes rajat come after that. Right. Okay, leave it till there.